Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Who We Ood, an unofficial Doctor Who watch along podcast. Today, we are talking about the fifth Doctor episode, Planet of Fire. But before we get into the episode, my name is Ben, and I'm here with my co-host Cam. How you doing today, Cam?
I'm doing good. I I'm coming off of a 3-day weekend. I took Friday off and went to see Nine Inch Nails in concert, and very good live. Great show, fantastic show.
Play any Tron Ares songs?
Yeah, they played like the main one, the "Give Me Something to Believe in." Yeah, that one with like the DJ as well. Um, very loud and very much like a light show, and like it was that stuff was really cool. Uh I also saw a movie called Nirvana the Band, the show, the movie. Ben, Ben's gone. Ben is away. He is
Getting
quitting the
something. I'm
podcast.
getting something to fidget with.
uh I saw Nirvana the Band, the show, the movie. Uh Ben, I'm telling you, highly recommend Nirvana the Band, the show. I think Nirvana the Band, the show. No, I'm not getting confused with Nirvana the Band, the show, the movie. Or not Nirvana the Band, the show, the webcast. Talk about Nirvana the band, the show.
What about Nirvana the band? Is Nirvana the band any good?
Well, it's hard to say because Nirvana the band, we really never seen them play music before.
Is it a real band or a
That's kind of
fake
the whole
band?
joke. It's a
I
fake
know
band.
literally nothing about this. Nirvana sounds like a real
So,
band name.
well, no, don't. All right, Ben. Don't get fucking confused. All right, Nirvana is a band. All right, there's also a band called The Band. There's also a show about these guys that have a band called Nirvana the Band. Okay.
So there's okay.
It's the show Nirvana the Band. Let me tell you the premise of this show, okay, Ben? It's about these two guys, and all they want to do is play a show at this place called the Riverly. And the Riverly Band, Ben, the Riverly is just a restaurant. They just want to play a band. They want to play a show at this fucking shitty restaurant. And the whole show is them figuring out plans to get famous enough to play a show at the Riverly. And it's just crazy antics. Like, for example, in the movie, they fucking time travel back to 2008. It's just crazy shit like that. And it's always like a movie's parody. So, like, one is Jurassic Park, and one of them, the movie is all Back to the Future. It's so funny, Ben. I think you would get a kick out of it. Have you ever seen the most famous thing from the web series, which was the first thing they did? Have you ever seen the Wii Shopping Channel skit?
It sounds vaguely familiar.
It's two guys in their apartment, the other band the show. And one of them is so excited. It's like it's 11:15, and the Wii Shopping Channel games have dropped, and then they get so excited, and they hum the music, and they start saying, "Oh, we should make a song out of the music." And one guy just completely sings every title of NES and SNES games to the beat of the Wii Shopping Channel.
Huh.
No,
Then that does sound familiar. I've probably seen it.
you know, you Ben, you have most definitely seen the Nirvana band, the show, the Wii Shopping Channel music.
Ba,
It's one of those
ba,
like
ba, ba,
old
ba,
internet
ba, ba, ba.
things, you know. I'll send it your way so you can watch it when you
I'll
get
watch
done
it
with this
later.
podcast. Um, but the movie is just fantastic. One of those movies where it's like we don't make comedies like that anymore. Of just like there was one or two moments there where like I laughed so hard in the movie theater. Uh, and I really am excited to see what they do next because there's a rumor that like they might finish their third season because like the third season of the show never got finished. So it's like we might get a chance of getting more of Nevada Band the show, which would be great. Very, very, very good. Highly recommend,
Cool.
Ben.
I will
How
add it to my
how
watch
have you
list.
been doing, Ben?
Oh, I'm fine. Just
Just
been,
fine.
yeah, just been working and watching various TV shows.
Hmm.
Um, been getting into. Have you watched The Good Place?
Yes, I know. I know of it. I've never seen it.
Same. I was the same for a while. But love Parks and Rec. Love. We just finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and
Mm.
that's really good. And it's another one, Michael Schur. It's in that kind of genealogy. Uh, so I gave it a shot. And most of season one, I was like, eh,
Mm.
this is pretty like basic, like basic, like I don't even know how to like a basic person would find it funny if you know what I mean.
Mm. Kind
Um,
of judgmental, but okay, sure.
um, not to antagonize the Good Place fans. But by the end of season one, uh, I got fully on board. I went from one or two nose exhales to, a couple good chuckles. And now I'm about a third of the way through season two, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Most of season one, I think, was kind of setting up stuff that then gets subverted. So I'm enjoying that alongside many, many other shows that I'm bouncing between, including Doctor Who.
What's this week's episode, Ben?
This
Well, you already
week,
said it. It's Planet of Fire.
yes, which was broadcast February 23rd through March 2nd, 1984, on BBC One. This is a familiar writer of.
But also, I just want to point out before you get into that, talking about when this aired. You think people were jealous back in the day of like, because we're recording this in February. It's like I'm a little bit jealous. I'm like, I wish I could be in this hot climate right now. You know, swimming in wherever.
Sure.
Where did they film this? In the Coney Islands. Where is the Coney Islands? It's in Spain. It looks beautiful. But I definitely had. I was jealous of Turlough and Peri being able to swim in that water.
Which do you enjoy more, Peri in a bikini or Turlough in his speedos?
Oh, Ben, we're not going to talk about that now. We're gonna have to save that for later, because that's gonna be a big discussion.
So, Peter Grimwade wrote this
Yes.
episode. Who previously he's kind of done a little bit of everything. He wrote Modern Undead and Time Flight, and then before that directed Urshak, Kinda, Legopolis, and Full Circle, and before that was a production assistant of a couple Fourth Doctor stories.
But is this the end of the show? Does he not do anything else after this?
This would appear to be his final credit.
Yeah. Maybe he did. I'd see he did do the target novelization, so who knows when those came out. But this is his
Probably
final story credit.
around. Oh, it actually
Oh,
came
it
out a
depends on
week.
some of them.
According to the wiki, it says it came out a week before this episode.
Wow, some people got spoiled. Planet of Fire. They were like, guys, I already know the ending to this because I read the book. And the director is Fiona Cummings.
No S,
Let's
but
not forget
yes.
her.
Just
Oh yeah,
coming.
sorry. Cumming. Usually it's Cummings, right? That seems like the more popular last name.
This is her last uh, directorial role. Previously, she did Enlightenment, Snake Dance, and Castrovalva.
Do you think she was the one that made Turlough be in that speedo? Or do you think that was JNT?
I mean, who knows? Produced by J&T, of course. Cam, what did you think? Actually, first, to give a brief synopsis from the Doctor Who Classic YouTube channel, a young American girl, Peri, discovers a strange artifact while holidaying with her stepfather in the Mediterranean. After an accident, Turlough brings her aboard the TARDIS to recover. The artifact leads the Doctor to the volcanic world of Sarn, where Turlough begins to find the natives strangely familiar. Peri is left behind on the TARDIS with Kamelion, who begins to act strangely, finally shapeshifting into the form of the Master.
Ooh.
Cam, what did you think of Planet of Fire?
This is very similar to Time Flight, right? Like, it's just the same type of syndrome of just like the first part was somewhat interesting, but then just completely it just I do not care what's happening throughout the majority of the story. And it's pretty just a bore to get through. And it's so weird when you think about the three stories Peter Grimray has written. Because his second story, well, I'm having a blank at the moment, Marvin Undead, it's a pretty good story. I like that story. But then you just have it's a sandwich. His writing credits the Doctor Who's a sandwich where you get some bread in the middle and you just get some really like bad bread in between there. Like it's just almost unedible. Like I don't know if this is as bad as Time Flight, but it's kind of the same where it's just like I don't care. Um, and then, like, I think it does some interesting things with Turlough. We get a little bit more backstory. Weirdly enough, it's his final episode where we get more characterization for Turlough. Uh, and Peri is introduced, and she's Peri. I'm excited to see what you think of Peri.
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's just like I said, the the Coney Islands looked beautiful. I wish I could be there. That's my biggest thing. That's my biggest thing I could say about this story. What would you say, Ben?
I would say I might semi disagree. I don't think it's an amazing story, but I found it, I thought it was fine. It's somewhat compelling. I think the like indigenous worshiping this um Logar, none of that stuff really worked for me. But I think the story was saved by the kind of core cast. Turlough, I would say, is a strong point. Probably the best he's been since Enlightenment, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, we got Peri. I think Anthony Ainley's doing a great job. I feel like some of his season 19, season 21, I've been kind of dissatisfied with, but Five Doctors, he was great. I think he's really great here again. The kind of like core cast of a Doctor, Companion, and Master, I think are all pretty good, and it kind of saves the story in my eyes because it's about them and them running around.
And for reference, I just wanted to point out that this is not my first time watching this. I watched this as a kid, very early on into my Doctor Who journey on VHS. I rented it from the library and or borrowed it from the library, and all I remember was the Perry introduction scene. That's all I was able to remember from then to now.
Yeah,
The rest of the story just left my brain, except for maybe some of the stuff towards the end where it's like, "Ooh, this is what's happening now." But yeah, that's the only thing I remember from the story, and I think 10 years from now, that'll probably be the only thing I'll remember.
I guess to talk about the elephant in the room, Perry.
Yes.
First,
Wow, what an American accent, Ben. Let's talk about that American accent.
it's so bad. It's so bad. And maybe it's just because we're Americans, so we know what Americans sound like. If I was a British,
No, Ben, no, there's no even the British are
if
like,
I was a
what the fuck
British
is that accent?
schoolboy, you think it wouldn't fly?
Ben, she is not yeah, maybe she's trying, but she's not convincing at all.
I need to know, Cam. Did she keep up with this bad accent for the next 2 seasons?
I believe so, unless there's something in Trial of the Time Lords where it's like, I got shot with a British canon. I'm not sounding British all of a sudden.
Damn, that kind of sucks.
Because like there's moments where you can tell that like she's trying to be American, and there's other moments where it's just like completely that whole sentence she was not. That's completely British.
Yeah. It's really distracting. Before I get into kind of my thoughts about Perry, because I'm, as always, am going at it just from what I see here. Have you seen a lot of stories with Perry? I know you've seen Andrew Zani, of course.
And I've seen like half of season 22.
Yeah.
So
Any trial?
no trial. But she's only in like half a trial.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So you have some prior experience with Perry.
yes.
To say my thoughts, the accent is bad. My initial kind of impression of her is it feels like a little bit of a step backward, where she's a little bit of just, doctor, help me, and
Yeah.
just a damsel in distress. There's a little,
Literally, she is introduced as a damsel in distress. The first thing we get is, I'm drowning, while she has a bag of air. Where, like, surely that can be help her up a little bit. Also, it's like the calmest water on the planet. Like, are you not able to swim? Like, it's one of those things where, like, we talked about it with Five Doctors with the Sarah Jane scene where Sarah Jane is like, like I'm like falling and I need your help, doctor. It's very similar to that where like you could tell in the script they probably were like thinking, oh yeah, there's gonna be these big waves and like she's not gonna be able to swim and it's gonna be like this scene where she needs to get rescued. But it honestly just feels. It looks like and feels like it's just she jumps in that water and 2 seconds later she's like, fuck, I forgot how to swim.
yeah, it's kind of silly. Um, but they need a reason to bring her into the TARDIS, I guess. It's probably something like you're saying, where like what was written on the page was not able to be accurately filmed. So it's not a great first impression, to be honest. I want to say maybe there's something a little bit more. I think her kind of ability to control Kamelion speaks to an inner strength, perhaps, but it might not be that deep. I don't know.
See, that's why I'm coming from. Like, it's not that deep, man. It's her like, but see, this is the problem of me knowing more Perry throughout the rest of the one, where she is just she's very much in that mode of, like you said, a step backwards of just, doctor, I'm gonna scream because I'm in danger. It's like that back to, especially since we haven't got that since what, Joe? But even Joe isn't that much of a screamer.
Yeah, I mean it's a big step down from Tegan.
It's like Zoe slash like Victoria that we get into a screamer like this.
Yeah, I mean I think Joe is close enough. You could make an argument for Romana 1 due to poor writing.
Yeah. But it's interesting that like the whole, so let's talk about her introduction fully, Ben.
Yeah.
So we get introduced to her via her stepfather. Her stepfather and his little gang is collecting artifacts and they find the what is the I was should just say MacGuffin of the story. What is it that they find, Ben?
I mean it's a little like capsule that has some kind of try-on device in it.
Yeah. So they find the MacGuffin and then we get introduced to Perry. And Perry's like, I gotta go to, is it Morocco?
Yeah, she wants to go.
She's like, I want to go to Morocco. I'm gonna sell my plane ticket to New York. I want to do this, stepdad. You can't tell me any different, stepdad. And the stepdad's like, okay, sure. We just gotta go on my boat real quick. And then
I That's her stepdad?
just leaves her on a dinghy all alone on this boat. Yes.
I thought it was her
Did you not
boyfriend.
get that? No, no. Yes, I thought that too at the beginning that she just had an older boyfriend, but no, it's her stepdad.
Okay. That's not the vibes I got, but whatever.
Um, her stepdad name is
Howard.
let me see. Howard. Howard the stepdad, who's an archaeologist. But she wants to go to Morocco. Her stepdad doesn't let her, and instead of just being reasonable and talk to her like a normal person, treating her like an adult like she is, he instead just leaves her on a boat by herself and says, "Hey, you can't go to Morocco now." But she says, "You know what? You can't stop me. Thank God I'm wearing a bikini under my clothes." Uh, so then she takes off and reveals a bikini, which for another show wouldn't be out of place, but for 80s Doctor Who, this is like the most risque thing the show has ever done, almost to this point. Is this the most skin that Doctor Who has shown up until this point, Ben?
Uh,
Except for Mary Leela, of course.
yeah.
They can rail hard.
Romana
Going through the database.
2 in the now who was swimming in the TARDIS swimming pool?
That
Was
was Leela.
that was Leela? So yeah, probably.
Which of course also this is the era of the famously, I don't know if I ever told you this, Ben, but JT has a famous saying of no hanky pinky in the TARDIS. Uh, so he has a scene where he introduces this companion, who of course is very attractive young woman, in a bikini. Again, like we talked about, she's goes in the ocean, immediately starts drowning. Tegan has to save her, so Tegan gets in his bathing suit, and Tegan, it's not just wearing a bathing suit, Ben. What is he wearing, Ben?
Turlough?
Yes, what is Turlough wearing, Ben?
Like a Speedo?
Yes, Turlough is wearing a Speedo. Definitely a scene where this is like, again, this is the most skin that has been shown in Doctor Who and since Leela, since JNT has taken over. He has never shown this much skin before of a male and a female at the same time, Ben. For both the men and the women in the audience, no matter what gender they are attracted to. Yeah, being attracted.
You know
What did you think
Turlough.
of what did you think of that scene, Ben?
I mean, it's a little silly. Um, but eh. eh. It's not how I would have wanted a new companion to be introduced. Want that? I want a strong woman. I don't want someone who needs to be rescued every episode. You know, I've seen that. We've done that. That's not interesting. Anything more to say about Peri?
No, it's just it's a shame. Um, I just want to point out too, we're pointing it out next episode as well. It's very funny to me that she has so many countless adventures with the Fifth Doctor, including a whole nother fucking companion, where it's pretty much like in the series, it's just like, oh well, next episode, Fifth Doctor dies. It's same with Turlough, where I don't know if you know this, but there's also countless adventures with the Doctor and Turlough together. And it's
Yeah.
like, but immediately at the beginning of this episode, they're talking about Daleks. So it just happens to be a coincidence that they're talking about Daleks.
Yeah.
Well, they actually had
Well,
all these fucking adventures together.
speaking of Turlough, what did you think of him this episode?
I think that this like you mentioned for your journal thoughts. This is the best episode with Turlough throughout the whole season so far.
By
Like, we're
far.
actually getting more information of his backstory, and he's actually Mark, whatever his last name
Strixon?
is, Dixon. He's not a bad actor. It's just that he's not given that much for most episodes. And so when
And when
that
he is
episode
given
this,
stuff, he
he's
does a good
pretty
job.
good. So it's a shame that this is his last episode because I could imagine a fun arc after this,
Yeah,
or
it's
like
really
just give him an arc, but like they just never gave him an arc or anything, which is kind of typical for Doctor Who companions of this time, of course. But like, it's just a shame.
yeah, it's really wasted potential to have him just be the male companion
Yeah,
and with
very much
no
fits that same role as Harry of
yeah,
decade late or decade earlier.
when his own thing going on. He's on the run. And you know, they could have done more with it.
Yeah,
Um,
also, it doesn't help that his companion is just the male character where you already have a young male doctor. So it's not like he's really needed that much for the action stuff or like the just
yeah,
generally where he fits in the story. We don't even ever use like him as a love interest at all. Like there's never a moment where you're like, "Ooh, is Turlough gonna fall in love with this girl?" Of course, that goes back to the hanky panky and the TARDIS for J&T's role.
but Turlough's pretty good, I would say, in this story. It's good as a shame. Anything more to say about Turlough?
No, not that much. Like again, I find it like it's interesting, but also it's like not that interesting. I wish that it was just explored more.
Yeah, agreed. So this is his last story. So as we do, how do you feel about Turlough for his entire run from Modern Undead to now? Is he a good companion? Is he a bad
Shrug
companion?
emoji is it's a shrug emoji, Ben. It's just like I don't care about Turlough. Like he's not the worst companion in the world, but he's not the best.
Yeah,
Interesting idea to start off with, but then like after that, they never really had anything to follow up with, so it just became he's just a guy in the TARDIS with the Doctor and Tegan.
it's crazy that he is with the Doctor longer than Adric, but I feel like Adric has such a bigger role in the
Yeah.
Doctor's life.
It helps that Adric as well has more time with just the Doctor,
Yeah, like I
even
don't know
though it's
what
only is like one
Turlough.
story and a half.
Yeah, like I don't know what Turlough and the Doctor's relationship is. Like
No. The same
mildly
relationship as the
amicable.
Doctor and Kamelion.
Speaking of Chameleon, we have Chameleon's final
Your
story
favorite
here.
your favorite companion of all time. That was a quote that you said, Ben.
Yes. What did you think of Chameleon here?
Like, it's an interesting character and is somewhat interesting in the story, but I
More
wish we got a
interesting
little
than
bit
he
more of
was
it.
in King's Demons, I feel.
Yes. Yes, but also imagine how much this would have worked even better if we got more Chameleon throughout. So his betrayal really felt like a betrayal instead of here just like, okay, yeah, I guess yeah, it makes sense that he was the master was in control all along because I kind
Yeah.
of figured that last season.
It's too bad. Do you know the full kind of story behind it? I did
No.
look it up. So the guy who like knew how to control the prop died, and no one knew
Well,
how to operate
Jesus.
it. So they just didn't use it. They wrote him out of Awakening, and they just didn't write him into anything until I guess this was like, I guess we need to acknowledge it. Let's write him out. And for the most of the story, it's just Howard with uh, silver paint, and only at the
Yeah.
very beginning and very end we see the actual prop, which is convenient. I feel like it's a shapeshifting robot. Literally, if you need to, you can prop the robot up in a chair and then just have it shapeshift at the beginning of the episode into literally any actor, and it works.
Yes.
So many possibilities that they did not take advantage of,
No. Not at all.
which ties into a retrospective for Companion as an overall companion. Interesting idea that they didn't even poorly execute, they just didn't execute at all.
Not he's just I would have liked more Chameleon, you know? It's
Yeah.
a shame.
The little hints we get here of true chameleon I are compelling. Did you find his self-sacrifice, or I guess assisted suicide, compelling?
No, because again, we don't like if maybe we had a whole season where I was like, "Oh, I love Chameleon. Oh no, not Kamelion. No, I'm gonna miss you. It's like I don't feel that. I was like, oh, thank God he's dead. So Ben never has to ask me what I thought of Kamelion in this episode,
Does it feel
and he
weird to
wasn't even in the
you?
episode.
Does it feel weird to you
Yes.
that the doctor kills him? I mean, it's a little bit of a mercy killing, but it still feels gross to me. It feels out of character.
See, but that's the weird thing about classic Doctor Who is I feel like the Doctor as a character, he's a little bit edgier. He's a little bit unknown. He's a little bit like who knows what he's capable of. New series when he comes a little bit more like, okay, no, here's the rules. He'll never do this. He'll never do that. But then even then, he still does things where you're like, Jesus.
Do you think if it was Turlough lying on the ground saying "kill me," he would kill him? Or Tegan?
That's a great
Or does he
point. That's a
not
great point.
see Kamelion as like a true life form? Is he just
Yeah,
like, oh,
he's
that's
probably
a
just like,
robot. It
okay.
doesn't matter if I kill him.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows how much intelligence Chameleon really has?
There's some subtext there, but it's probably not really thought about. I don't think
But
Peter
see,
Grimwade was really thinking about
again,
it.
this is just setting up the events of the Time War, Ben. This is the Doctor that's gonna fight in the Time War and do all those awful things
I
in the Time War.
guess. Um. So are you sad? You're not sad to see
Just
Chameleon go?
wait till you get to Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy and what they do.
So with Turlough going back to Tryon and Chameleon executed, it's just Peri. And for, I believe, the rest of classic Doctor Who, it's just Doctor and his one female companion.
Except for Dragonfire. No, it's Mel and Ace.
Or Mel and Ace.
Mel has. There's this other third guy in Trial of the Time Lords with Mel that I'm forgetting his name of because I've never seen it.
He's not on the Wikipedia. Is it Sabalam Glitz?
I think that might be it.
Played by Tony Selby? I guess we'll talk about him later.
But yeah, for the most part, Ben, this is the last. Well, the last episode was the last dual companion. Well, I guess this is kind of a dual companion, but this is in a similar capacity to Dragonfire, where it is kind of a passing the torch.
Yeah. But from, you know, next episode on, essentially, basically, it's just Doctor and his girlfriend.
Well, and also let's not forget Jamie and the two doctors. He's kind of a third companion in that story.
Jamie as the Sixth Doctor's companion, not just
Yeah,
Two's.
there's a point. Not to get too much into the spoilers, but there is a point where he becomes like a third companion to the Sixth Doctor.
Okay. But in general,
See, I don't want that one person to leave a comment, Ben, to go like, hey, but you forgot about this.
you gotta
So,
name all the
what about?
asterisks. But in general, asterisk, asterisk,
Yes,
asterisk,
yes, yes.
it's just the Doctor and his girlfriend, which is a little bit of a shift from having this big TARDIS crew of three, 2 to 3, the last 10 seasons.
See, I'm somebody that I like two. I think two is a good fit.
Two as in the Doctor and his one
No,
companion?
two companions.
Two companions.
So you got three people in the TARDIS. Like I think there's a good dynamic there, and they can be used well where like you have the Doctor alone, or you have the Doctor with one companion, then the other. Like it's a good way to make a B story be more interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good template. The Doctor and his assistant and his girl boss.
Because of course you have Sarah and Harry, and then you have Zoe and Victoria with Jamie in the second Doctor. Um,
We
which
have,
is
don't
it
forget,
works.
K9 and Romana.
Oh yes, 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 yes. Because K9 is totally a companion. That's a whole companion.
He's two whole companions. But yeah, it's a shift. I'm open to it, but I do like having multiple recurring people, I think, just in general. So I will miss it to a degree. What about the Master? We get kind of two versions here. We get Kamelion disguising himself as the Master, and then we get little itty baby Master.
I'm sad that that master doesn't speak like this. It is like a little
Yep.
hyper. I will control you. I am the master. You will obey me. Like I would fuck with that. Like, come on, give me that.
That would have been great. Even if it was just like a little bit. Like it doesn't need to be helium, but just like one or two pitch levels above would
Yeah.
have been kind of funny. But yeah, I think Anthony Ainley does a great job. I think the subtleties of Chameleon versus Master, I think are noticeable. He's playing him a little bit differently. Uh, Chameleon is a little bit not as dramatic, less gravitas. What do you think?
No, I think for the most part, Anthony Ainley is good in almost every episode of Doctor Who. I think this is another example of where he does a fine job. I just don't think he's given that much to work with this episode. So I'm just like, eh? Like I it's it's fun to see him in a suit. Like
A suit?
I wish we explored more. Yeah, he wears a suit as the chameleon version,
Does he not
like a suit and tie.
normally?
No, he usually wears like the this version of the master usually wears like a black like robes or like he has the JNT costume. Was very much a costume,
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. With like the collar and the poofy shoulders.
which he also wears in this story as the real master. But I cannot give a shit about the people of this planet. Like I find this whole tribe to be very boring.
Yeah.
Like it's just something. It's very generic science fiction of just like give me more than just they worship something that of course is just a piece of science. It's not anything that they should be worshiping, but like they worship it and they try to tie it back with Turlough stuff, but like
I think there's one glimmer of something interesting. When it comes to the very end, when the religious leaders decide, I'm going to say, stay and Logar will save me. And the other guy who hangs around with the doctor a lot, but I don't know his name, says, well, yes, he sent a ship to save you. Why aren't you doing it? And he's like, you wouldn't understand. Which I think is a fallacy that is not not represented in reality at times.
I just think this is one of those stories where it peaks in the first part where I have the most interest, and with every part, it kind of just dwindles.
Yeah.
I do really like the scene going back to the opening where the whole Peri drowning stuff. The doctor in that pays for like a drink or something
Oh,
at a bar
I don't like he
or a
has
restaurant,
money. He
and leaves
shouldn't
like
have
this alien
money.
money. But I like that he has alien money. That's cool. It's like look, doctor can't.
Mm,
He
I don't know.
he's not doesn't even have the right currency.
I like him more as the cosmic hobo that never carries money on him.
We also never pointed out Peter Davidson's outfit this episode. A new outfit for him.
Yes, he has
Uh,
suspenders with question marks. Of course.
because J and T loves those question marks. Because I don't know if you get it, Ben,
Cause it's
but the title of the
who?
show is a question.
Yeah, it works. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's fine. I understand why they don't want to give Peter that coat during location filming in a hot environment.
Yeah, it makes sense.
as well as the sweater he wears. And honestly, I would say Davidson in this episode, if this is probably his worst performance since Warriors of the Deep. Like I find it pretty much like he doesn't really add anything this episode. Because even with Awakening, I was like, wow, his performance is great this episode, even that the episode sucks. This episode, I was like, there was never any moments where I was like, wow, Peter Davison is giving it his all.
No.
Like, it's not bad, but it's like I don't
Yeah.
think he's ever like
I don't feel
surpasses the
that he's
material.
half-assing it, but I see, he might be mentally winding down. Well, what else is there to say about Planet of Fire?
I don't got too much. Uh, I just find it to be mostly a bore.
I think the plot isn't great, but I think the characters make up for it, in my opinion.
But like also it doesn't help that the story always has the problem of being the episode behind one of the greatest episodes of the show's run. Like, I forget what other story has something similar to this. Kind of saw Town Experiment kind of has something similar where it's like it's the one right before the big episode.
Yeah. Visitation before Earthshock. Or no, it's Black Orchid before Earthshock.
Yeah. Yeah, Black Orchid.
Or um, Space Pirates before War Games.
It's not I don't well, I haven't seen it, but I would imagine it's not as bad as Space Pirates.
God, no.
I'm still waiting for that day where they find new classic Doctor Who. We found it, and this collector had it. What did the collector have? Episode 6 from of the Space Pirates. Shit.
I will always advocate for media preservation, even if it's Space Pirates.
But like, imagine the whole fandom would go, "Oh shit, they found new Doctor Who," and they would just keep on scrolling past on Twitter when they found out the Space Pirates.
I would go back and watch it. I think if we had it, it would go from like a 2 out of 10 to a 3 out of 10. Is there any special effects worth mentioning?
No, the one that's like the famous shot of this, where it's like the flames of the Master coming out of it.
The
That's a
Master
cool
like
special effect.
growing.
Yeah.
What about the
The
little baby
special,
Master running on the
oof.
ground?
Yeah, it's adorable. Uh, but there's nothing really that bad this episode where I'm like, oh, that's terrible. Except for if you want to call the effect of the drowning. That effect was the worst.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh no, the worst effect is Mary's American accent.
Oh, I guess maybe we should mention it real quick. The Master's TARDIS got redesigned,
Yes, it's now black.
and it's also not the one pillar that.
Yeah.
Why did he change that? Was that like for? When did it start being a pillar? Is it cast? Is it
It's
Legopolis that they
Casaraba.
changed it to a pillar?
Yeah, Legopolis. It's either Legop. No, I don't think we see it on oh, we might have.
We
It's either
do,
Legopolis
because
or
he's like
Casaraba.
teleporting around Legopolis.
Yeah,
Master.
it's hard with those two stories because they're
And then it
both
was
very
just
much
stuck as a
like one
pillar
big
for
story.
a while for some
Yeah.
reason. Yeah, he changes it from a grandfather clock to a pillar, and then it's just a pillar. And I guess it's still supposed to be this pillar, but they changed it to be like a box with a door. I thought it was really cool where it's a pillar and you walk behind the pillar to enter. There isn't like a visible door. It's just a stone box. And then it's black, which we've had I think indoor black TARDISes, but it's very much just the current TARDIS set but with black walls. Like it's the same console,
Yeah.
but it works to have a black TARDIS. Darkness and light. Cliffhangers?
Give us those cliffhangers.
1. Kamelion, looking like Howard, turns into the Master, and he says, I am the Master, and you will obey me.
No, not Howard.
And 2. The Master, posing as the outsider, commands the heretics, including the Doctor, to be sacrificed in the fire.
Ah, God, no.
And then 3. Peri takes refuge in the Master's TARDIS, endeavors to disable the master's control box, but instead reveals a tiny master who says, "You will obey me or die."
Oh, how adorable. Would you keep the little master as a pet, Ben?
He, that's a tough one. He is adorable. He would keep saying, "I'm gonna kill you in your sleep." But would you?
No, because he would like kill me or mind control me or like experiment on me.
Speaking of, I did find it slightly odd that he didn't hypnotize Peri. Like he says, "You will obey me," but Perry's just
Mm.
like, "Sure, whatever, dude." He doesn't actually try and hypnotize her.
His mind control powers is kind of
Oh no, wait, no, I guess it's
go off and
Kamelion.
on.
It's Kamelion, so Kamelion must
Yeah,
not be able to hypnotize her. Never mind.
yeah, which
Retracted.
makes sense.
Um, which is the best cliffhanger?
Yeah, but none of them are all great. I would say maybe 3.
I would say one. The master reveal is always good. Howard.
You got to do that again.
Howard.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said. I think you're gonna. I thought it was a noise. I thought it was a voice crack where you were saying, "How would you make the story?"
No, I'm pretending to be Perry doing a bad American accent. I don't
uh,
know how to do an American accent though, so I just said it in a whatever that was. Can you do an American
well,
accent?
clearly doesn't. Nicola Bryant.
Do you have a Boston accent? I don't really think about
Yes, I do. In a speech impediment, it's the combination of the two.
it. So Cam, how would you rate Planet of Fire?
All right, I'm looking through it now. Uh, it's Time Flight's the one where I'm like, is this better or worse than Time Flight? I think it's slightly better than Time Flight. Is this better or worse than Warriors Deep? It's no, sorry, not Warriors Deep. Oh, fuck, I just searched it up. Is this better or worse than Awakening? I think Awakening is a little bit better. So I'm gonna go 4.5. So on par with Terminus. Actually, I think I like Terminus a little bit better. So I'm gonna do 4.4.
Do I like this more than Arc of Infinity? Maybe not. I do like it more than Four to Doomsday. I'm gonna give it a 6 for an average rating of 5.2. And to talk about the polls, Doctor Who Magazine does a poll every decade or so since 1998. In 2023, 2014, and 2009, it all ranked 14. And in 1998, it ranked 12. So pretty consistent.
Out of what?
Out of 20, which puts it right beneath Black Orchid and right above Terminus. Which, yeah, it's around there. It ain't no
Yeah.
time flight, but it's fine.
No, no, no.
It's better than Terminus, but it's about our Black Orchid.
Planet of Fire 161. Above it is Revenge of the Cybermen. Below it is the Sunmakers, which we both like the Sunmakers way more than we like the Planet of Fire. That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
You know, Town
Well,
Called Mercy and Power 3 and closing time being 165. That's insane. That story belongs to be in like the 230s. What a
we will
shitty episode.
see.
No, we're not. We won't see. You like I already know. You will see, Ben.
I will see.
Maybe you will be like, I love closing time. This is my favorite. How much do you like James Corden?
I neither like or dislike James Corden.
Okay. Just wait till you get the James Corden Doctor Who episodes.
Who is James? That sounds vaguely familiar. Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, you gave the answer without even fully knowing who he is.
So, Cam, next week,
Yes.
it's the one. It's the big one.
Yes.
The biggest one,
Well,
you could
one of
say.
the big ones. Ah,
Biggest
not as
one
big as like Tennant
for this
for Peter
doctor.
Davison. For the 80s is almost.
Is there anything that
It
you
ranked
think?
number 1 in 2009 poll, I believe.
Do you think there's anything in the '80s that surpasses Androzani?
Remembrance of the Daleks. I really love
Ah.
Remembrance of the Daleks.
Well, we'll see if it's a 10 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10 next week.
Robert Holmes coming back.
Our Lord and Savior.
It's been a long time.
So join us next week for that and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Goodbye, everyone. Peace out.